The Business Hub
with Outsource IT Solutions, making the cloud work for your business.
James, welcome to the Business Hub. Thanks for coming in. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's good. Good to have you here. And I'm thinking, just because of the audience that we have, there is always such a broad subject base talking about IT. There's always something new that's coming to the pot. So it's good to have experts like you guys on the show. First of all, let's get an insight into what you guys actually do. Then, what is Outsource IT Solutions, and what's it all about?
Yes, we're a local Truro-based company, and we provide cloud services. But the twist with ours is that they're very Cornish, that we're actually located, and our data centre and where they're all hosted are here in Cornwall, down at Goonhilly, which is really cool, actually, really exciting. So we provide a number of cloud services, hosted desktop. That's a new one coming along now. Many people aren't quite familiar with it. We've also got cloud storage, cloud email, virtual servers. There's quite a few services that we offer. Yeah, with those cloud services, but local support.
Okay. And how long have you guys been around? How did the business begin?
Yeah, so it was something I set up almost 6 years ago now, providing network support to schools and businesses. But particularly in the last 2 years, just over 2 years, I'm doing a lot of development and looking into the cloud services, and basically spent that time developing it, finding out what the technologies were, how they worked, and how they can really benefit the businesses, and how to work well.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
The fun part.
Yeah, and I mean, cloud is a term that's been used now for, probably 5 or 6 years at least. I think it's become sort of fairly common knowledge, and I think although the understanding around it is probably way behind that, so it's good that we're going to be talking about that today, because we can cover off, I'm sure, quite a lot of information gaps with people as well. So let's start from the beginning then. So when we talk about cloud, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a buzzword. It really is. And like you say, it's been around for a while, but it took me quite a few months, if not longer, to actually figure out what the term meant. Yeah. And that was when it was first coming out. But basically, it's the ability to be able to access things through the internet. That's the bottom line. And this is what we're about, is being able to sit down, talk with people to actually describe services and sort of demystify everything around that buzzword and all the other buzzwords that go along with the cloud. So we've got a number of servers. They're hosted. They're in a rack. So you might be used to seeing one in the corner of your office. Where instead of having it there and only being able to access your server when you're in the office, well, we have a server that's connected through the internet down at Goonhilly that you can access anywhere. And that's the idea with the cloud, that it's secure and you can access it from anywhere.
Okay. And so those are the basic benefits to the business. Are there any other benefits to a business to having something remotely stored rather than in your building? Oh,
yeah. Again, there's these other buzzwords. So there's the reliability, scalability, flexibility, and availability. Again, like we say, they're buzzwords, but they sum it up quite well. So yeah, you can access it from anywhere, literally with an iPad as well, a tablet, a PC, your phone. You can use all these different tools. You can access it in the office, when you're out and about, at a hotel, at the local coffee shop, from the other side of the world. And the best part is that it's actually secure as well. So these connections come back encrypted. So if people do get in between, they can't access the documents. So it's secure from that point of view. Okay. And there's many other benefits as well, but by taking it out, we said about the reliability. So many offices might have one server. What happens when that goes down? You've got to call in your IT guy, that specialist guy, who we've got a bit of a name for, maybe charging some money sometimes, and the time frames with that as well. So your office might be without the server, the documents, the software that you need for quite a while sometimes until it can be fixed. Yeah. Well, again, with the servers and the cloud, it's about being reliable, so that the service is always available as much of the time. It's there, and you can reliably just connect to it, not have to worry about, is it going to be running today? It's there.
Sure. Security must be the question that you're asked about all the time, and that's the first thing that you brought up. And I suppose that you are adding an element of risk an extra element of risk if you are placing your information out there, or, on the internet. I mean, the only reason I say this is we talk about so many high profile hacking cases just recently, and, from companies that you expect wouldn't be hacked. I mean, how does this stuff happen? So it makes you think that nobody's really particularly safe, but, I guess there are no guarantees, are there?
There's no guarantees anywhere. That's a fair thing to say. It's about minimising that risk as much as you can. So there are a number of procedures in place. We've got firewalls on the edge to prevent attacks. Mm-hmm. There's even preventative that if it detects a number of attacks, then it actually blocks the source of it. Yeah. So then, people can't keep trying from the same place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of issues have come about because of like passwords, the complexity of passwords and things. So we've got policies as well in place to help our users to make the whole service for everybody as secure as possible.
Yeah, sure.
And also we run through a number of security tests quite regularly that include, they're called ethical hacking. So it's the guys that use these tools and they have the know-how of hackers.
Yeah.
But effectively we've asked them to do it, hence the ethical side of it, that they will test our system, find any weaknesses, and then we can plug them.
Interesting.
And keep it secure.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the business perspective of this, people that are listening to the show right now, what sort of things might we be interested in that you have there? I mean, what sort of stuff might we change?
There's a couple of really, really good services that I'm really excited about. The one that everyone will be familiar with is the idea of email. That's hosted. We look after all the management of that. It's a very specialist product, email, and to keep it maintained and reliable is a very skilled job.
Yeah.
So people are familiar with that. The one I'm really excited about and really like is hosted desktop. It bundles everything that we've talked about. So you've got the accessibility. I love showing people my iPad because I run a piece of software on that connected back to our servers, and it runs Windows. So every bit of software, every document, picture, file, anything that you might need to run your business can be run from an iPad.
So you're running Windows, but okay, this is this is where it does my head in, because I just don't understand it well enough. But so you're running Windows, but you're running Windows remotely, is that right?
Yeah. So the servers basically do all the hard work. They're crunching away, and they're nice high-powered servers to do that. And your iPad or computer, your tablet, your phone connects in through the internet back to that server, giving you the access, giving you the ability to use it.
Yeah. See, I love stuff like this. But I've got this. I had this system at home where I could log into work and see the screens at work, but then I would have to click wait, for it to actually process. So are things sort of slightly better than that? Is it faster than that? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Because all of the hard work is being done on the servers and all the files are there, it's quick. And all that you're sending over the internet is a very small snippet of basically your mouse, your keyboard, and just a tiny little, like the changes on screen.
Right, okay.
So it's a very small footprint on, using the internet. So it's not sending very much information, which speeds up the whole process.
I see, yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of the classic software that you may have used, it sends a lot more, and it tends to compress and slow the whole thing down.
Yeah, sure.
It's not as usable.
So what about software then? How does it work with software if you want to have Microsoft Word or spreadsheets or even any other, or a computer game or something? Does that still work?
Yeah. We have a relationship with Microsoft. So any of the Microsoft products we can provide licensing for, and that also entitles you to the very latest software as well. So the latest Office, it's all there. We look after it, install it and maintain it, and that can be included in the pricing as well. Other software, there seem to be a number of accounts programs as well, and it's a case of installing and running it. Our customers at the minute, they keep their licensing for like account software. But
so you just buy that as normal. You buy that as normal, and you'd install it as normal. You don't have to get involved to install a piece of software on your Windows account.
We would get involved in the installation of it
right.
to make sure that all the important files were cared for, that they were backed up and looked after properly.
Got you.
But yeah, the license, we go about normally.
So if I wanted my daughter to be able to play Minecraft,
yeah,
how would that work? Just simple things make sense to me. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And by the way, I genuinely am asking for my daughter. It's not me. I've got a clue.
You look genuine.
Yeah, no, I am genuine. Yeah.
No, that's fine. So the whole process, we'd give them her username. She'd log onto our website and download the connection. And it is literally a case of click, download, done. Put in the username again just to connect into the servers through the desktop. And then it's a case of it all being there. Yeah. So if it's a website to browse through for those website-based games, open a web browser, it looks and feels exactly like a normal desktop PC.
Yeah, it must feel weird on an iPad then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just carry on using it as exactly as normal.
Interesting.
Most people don't see a difference, except maybe speed sometimes. It's a good speed. It
is interesting. I mean, one of the things we used to do here was the sales team would have iPads. And then we worked out that they didn't talk really well to the rest of the systems that we had here, and so you end up with a situation where whatever you do out in the field, you've still got to replicate when you come back, and really time's moved on, and we have now as well, but you need to deal with this kind of stuff, because otherwise you're going to be behind the game. Productivity is going to suffer as a result of it. So I can absolutely see the benefit of it. What's the cost implication then like? Because presumably if you're buying licenses for the software, you're not actually paying the outright cost of the software. Presumably it's a subscription. So how does that tie up?
It's exactly that. It is a subscription. It depends very much on numbers of users to some degree. Once we hit a certain level, obviously there's different discounts involved. But as a hosted desktop, for example, that can start from £20 a user. Now it's a monthly subscription, but you think about all the benefits that you get from within that. We take care of a number of the backups, the support that's on hand to look after the whole specialist system that we were talking about, the reliability of it, that it's always going to be there and available. There's a whole set of benefits within that.
Interesting. And as you mentioned it earlier on in passing, but the Goonhilly is where your cloud is, if you like. And that in itself is quite interesting because, I mean, I couldn't even tell you where the Dropbox servers are, but that's one thing that I use. When you think about all of those cloud-based services, whether they're Amazon or whatever it is, I assume that they're all in the Mojave Desert somewhere or something. And here we are, with a really robust, secure facility right in the middle of Cornwall, basically.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It kind of closed up, became a bit of a ghost town down at Goonhilly, but it's really exciting now to see the changes and to actually be a part of the new history, because there's a lot of history and background to do with Goonhilly, with communications and satellites, and like the Atlantic cable that joins America into Europe comes through there.
Amazing.
And just to be a part of that, it's exciting and a marvellous place to be.
And what's it like actually in there then? Because it's all secure, isn't it? But have you been in yourself? Or?
Yeah. So there's 24/7 security. There's manned security there. And there's obviously big sort of fences all around the whole site. There's magnetic swipe cards. So that's sort of a guided security. You only have access to the areas you need access to.
Yeah, sure.
So the actual data center room where the servers are kept, few people have access into that.
Yeah.
They might have access into one of the office blocks, but not into the server room. The room itself is huge. There's plenty of scope for growth.
Yeah.
And it's all there. There's backup power supply. I remember going down there and talking to the guys, and they were saying about this unlimited power supply for the servers. And normally you kind of see a box at the bottom of a rack or next to the server.
UPS or something, that's what we have here,
Yeah, and it's full of batteries, and there it is.
Yeah.
And they kept telling me about it, and I kept looking and couldn't see it anywhere. So I kept asking the question, it's like, are you sure it's backed out? It's like, yeah. And in the end, they pointed out a building, and it's literally a building, and that thing is just full of batteries.
Battery building.
Yeah, and there's
amazing.
Backup generators, there's multiple internet feeds that come in through different routes. So, if a digger ran over or cut up one of the routes, then the whole place is still online.
Yeah.
It's a cracking place.
Great stuff. All right. Well, James, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in here today, and I hope you're going to come back. In fact, you are going to come back shortly and do some more updates for us and give us a real insight into what's going on. But in the meantime, if people want to find out more information about this, the hosted desktops, or how to access even storage, because I guess you guys can do that, like Dropbox and things like that as well. How do people get in touch with you?
We've got a website, www.outsourceitsolutions.co.uk. That's undergoing some change, so keep your eye on that one and see the new website soon.
It's backed up though, yeah?
Oh yeah.
So
and hosted in Cornwall.
Brilliant.
Designed and hosted in Cornwall.
Jolly good.
Or they can email info@outsourceitsolutions.co.uk.
Great to have you on the show, James. Thanks very much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The Business Hub with Outsource IT Solutions, making the cloud work for your business.